So today we're talking about Volkswagen. The federal government of Canada has agreed to give billions of dollars to Volkswagen and Stellantis to build electric cars in Canada. On the face of it, I love this idea. I love where it's going. I love the plans for the future. I love that Canada is going to be a player in the future economy, which is going to be based on electricity instead of liquid fuels. So my issue is, though, as a consumer, speaking purely as a consumer who spent more than 20 years selling cars, I can say authoritatively that cars with 4-year warranties are not as good as cars with 5-year warranties, and cars with 5-year warranties or longer tend to last much longer than any car on the market with a 4-year warranty. Now, anybody that's in the business is going to know that when I say 4-year warranty, I mean German car. Okay? Here's the facts. They're built to last about 4 years and then they fall apart. I've heard so many stories of low mileage Volkswagens and BMWs and Mercedes and all these cars just not lasting, the way people expect them to, especially when their previous car was something like a Honda or Toyota. So as a consumer myself, I've always leaned towards Honda because I like to drive, I like stick shifts. But I've also driven Toyota very successfully to very high kilometers. I drive my vehicles till the wheels come off, basically. So my current one has 515,000 kilometers on it and is on its second engine now. I just changed the engine at 500,000 kilometers. That's a good car. That's something worth putting your money in. And if I had billions of dollars to invest, which apparently the federal government does, I would have bet on somebody who can provide customers with a car that can last 500,000 kilometers without major repairs. And that means Honda, Toyota, perhaps some other brands. But unfortunately, it doesn't mean Volkswagen. So, if I was going to pick winners and losers, I would base those decisions on the performance of the product. And if you read any consumer reports from the last 30 years, since Volkswagen stopped building air-cooled engines, for the road anyways, their reliability standards are really low. And that speaks poorly of the company. And you're going to wonder why this, I've got this picture of this brown Volkswagen here. I found it in Ottawa. You'll notice it's a TDI. It's an interesting thing to me that I see so many TDIs, which are diesel-engined Volkswagens, which were proven in court down in the States to pollute much more than what Volkswagen's engineers said they would, because they used a special defeat feature on their software in the car that could detect if it was on a dynamometer or not, or if it was actually driving down the road. And if it was on a dynamometer, it would use software to limit the emissions so that it looked good on the dynamometer when it was checked by the government. But as soon as that car got back on the road, it was polluting. They're little stinkers. And so in the States, they're not even legal anymore. I think they're all off the road. But somehow here in Canada, they're still getting part support, and you see lots of TDIs still on the road, which honestly, you know what? It kind of offends me. I kind of feel like Volkswagen should work harder to get those things off the road, because they totally besmirch their reputation. And they did that to themselves. Nobody did that to them. So anyways, this is a company who has proven they have ethical problems. And they've been chosen by a prime minister who's been proven to have ethical problems. And I just don't have a lot of faith in that marriage, okay? I think it's time to consider something else, which I'm going to go into in my next video. And I hope you all come back to hear more.